Today I fucked up by taking my kid to the ER. My 16-year-old son started on a new medication. I got a phone call from his doctor informing me that a rash is a very rare but very serious side effect of this medication. She said, if he develops any rash of any kind, you need to take him to the ER. She said if I told them the name of the medication, they would immediately rush him in and treat him. So a few days later, he shows me a rash on his neck. It also happened to be the day he was instructed to take a higher dose of the med. It didn't look bad, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I rushed him to the ER as instructed. They didn't seem alarmed when I told them the name of the medication, but eventually he was seen by a physician who barely looked at him and said, "Dude, you've got razor rash." My son was so embarrassed and not happy with me. At all. I am mortified, but I just did what his prescriber told me to do. The ER doc said the prescriber was just covering their ass. My poor kid. Too long did not read. I took my son to the ER for razor rash. Doesn't sound like a foo at all. Your son's doctor said go to the ER if he has a rash, and your son showed you a rash on his neck. Without knowing that it was a razor rash, what were you supposed to do? Don't beat yourself up. You did the safe thing. Now your son knows that shaving can irritate the skin. He'll learn with time how to minimize that. But to be honest, it will still happen. As someone who got SJS, which is what the doctor was looking out for, from medication you did the right thing honestly. It's nothing to fuck around with, and honestly it's absolutely better to be safe than sorry. I'm glad it was just razor burn, but you didn't fuck up at all. No fuck up. You done good. Don't fuck around with medications and allergic reactions. That's serious business. Honestly, I get it, he's embarrassed, but you were given certain instructions by a trusted professional, and you did what any good parent would do to not take chances when it comes to your child and your child's life. Better safe than sorry, OP. They're not just covering their ass, they're also protecting you, or your son, from the worst-case scenario. The question would be whether there was an easy way to tell you more specifically what to look out for, which really depends on how specific or variable the telltale rash is. Even though it might feel bad to go to the emergency room with a non-issue, that is still genuinely better than being at home with a life-threatening condition. This is not a fuck-up in any way. His doc told you to watch for one symptom and to take it seriously. Better this story than today I fucked up by not taking my kid to the hospital after his doctor told us to go. You're being too hard on yourself. Today I fucked up has an affair. Background. I never suspected her of cheating. It honestly never crossed my mind. She's 32, I'm 34, and we have twin daughters who are 3 years old. A few months after they were born, I left to work abroad because I had no career prospects at home and we were struggling financially. We weren't starving or anything, but saving up for an apartment would have taken forever. I started working 60 hours a week abroad, living with a roommate, cooking as much as I could, sending money home, and saving everything else. She quit her old job because of night shifts, stress, and childcare responsibilities. I even helped her find a job at the front desk of a gym, just so she could have some extra income. Everything seemed fine. I earned the trust of my boss, got a small raise, and things were looking up. What happened? Then, one of my good friends reached out to me. He told me he stumbled upon a second Instagram account of hers. The username was basically her first name, no surname, locked profile, with over 2K followers. At first, I didn't believe him. He sent me screenshots of pictures and stories posing provocatively, dressing and revealing clothes, etc. I thought maybe it was a fake profile, but it looked too real. After talking it over with him, I decided to return home immediately. I finished my Friday shift, packed up and drove back, from Germany to my country. On the way, I texted her that I was coming. She was surprised but didn't seem suspicious. When I got home late at night, she welcomed me normally like nothing was wrong. The next morning while she was distracted with scrolling, I took her phone and locked myself in the bedroom. She started banging on the door and yelling at me demanding I give her the phone back. I opened Instagram and saw she was logged into that second account. I spent the next half hour shaking while going through the messages. She had been chatting with some 20-year-old guy for about 4 months. They exchanged all kinds of messages, pictures, and likely nudes. I later found those in her gallery. She even went twice to his vacation house on one mountain, supposedly with a group of his friends. I saw highlights of her posting from there in a swimsuit, surrounded by younger people. Same with a trip to another mountain. There were more conversations with other guys, but I couldn't even look further. It was too much. When I finally came out, she slapped me and screamed that I had invaded her privacy. I confronted her with what I had seen, but she didn't even deny it. She just kept yelling at me for checking her phone. She started packing, called a taxi, and left with the kids to her parents' place. Since then, she hasn't answered my calls. She only sent me one short message, saying she couldn't believe I violated her privacy. Nothing about what I found, no explanation, complete avoidance. I'm left shocked and completely lost. I don't know how to proceed. Should I try to talk to her? Should I confront her again? Should I be thinking about divorce already? My main concern is our daughters. I don't want them to suffer because of this, but I also don't know how to handle a wife who does this and then acts like I'm the problem for checking. Question. If you were in my shoes, how would you handle this? What should my next step be? I am planning on getting a divorce for sure. Too long did not read. I, 34M, moved abroad to work 60h/week to support my wife, 32F, and our 3-year-old twin daughters. Found out she had a secret Instagram with 2K plus followers, flirted with a 20-year-old, sent pics, and went twice to his vacation house. I confronted her after checking her phone. She slapped me, grabbed the kids, and left for her parents. Now she ignores me and only accuses me of violating her privacy. I don't know if I should try to save the marriage or start divorce. Lawyer. Leave her. Get evidence of the cheating just in case. Document. 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 Might want to get a paternity test on those kids, fella. No OP fuck-up detected. Your thoughts are correct. Get a divorce and fight for fair custody of the children. Her response to try and gaslight you for invading her privacy after she cheated on you in a pretty public way is disgusting. You moved across the continent to provide for your family, and she took advantage of that. She's not worth your time or energy, and you'll never be able to trust her again. Should have taken photos of the phone with your phone to have proof during the divorce, which BTW is needed. Typical Darvo from your wife. Unless she truly shows remorse, there is nothing you can do. Lawyer up yesterday and serve her divorce papers. Maybe that will wake her up, most likely not. Take care. Today I fucked up by making a disgusted face at a customer. I work in customer service, and you guys, it never gets easier dealing with situations like these. This guy and his friend came in not knowing what to get. Let's just say they look old enough to be my dad. In a scenario like this, I usually just hang around, wait patiently behind the register, because I don't want them to feel like I'm rushing them. Anyway, this guy, let's call him M, asks me a question about one of our items. I point to the item as I explain it to M. M then blurts out something flirtatious that caught me so off guard I had to look up. My eyes meet his, and he proceeds to give me a wink. I don't know if it's the 4-hour sleep I was running on, but I felt so offended that my brain just went, ugh you. WHYY. And I guess I forgot to keep that thought to myself because my face looked like I just saw my grandma naked. His smile disappeared real quick, and I felt like a deer in headlights. We talk a little bit more until they eventually leave. I went to the back and almost put myself in a fetal position from how embarrassed I was. TLR. Customer winks at me, but I forgot I'm at work. I make a disgusted face at him without realizing. The customer isn't always right. People who flirt with people at work like this deserve this kind of response, to be honest. Nothing wrong with standing up for yourself. He was being creepy. You were there because of work. Not your fault. Edit a word. As a guy who's probably old enough to be your dad, you did the right thing. Fuck that creep. Honestly, good for you. I had something similar happen a few months ago. A customer checking out with hard liquor and a big box of condoms. As I gave him his receipt, he winked at me and licked his lips. I said "you" out loud before I could stop myself, and I can only imagine the look on my face because he got mad and stormed off cat-face with tears of joy. Men who try to hit on women who are at work and are paid to be nice, we aren't flirting with you, bro, are weirdos. No, you absolutely didn't do anything wrong, he did. There's only so much retail workers should have to deal with, and he absolutely pushed those boundaries. Stand proud. Today I fucked up by eating a random, unattended pepper. I've done some stupid things before, but this one really has me questioning everything. You probably won't believe this after reading my post, but I'm a PhD student in a STEM field. I decided to make a little field trip today while I had time to kill between meetings to eat lunch with a friend. They recently joined a lab, so we decided to eat in their new break room. As we sat down to eat, a bag of peppers on the table caught my eye. Naturally, I asked my friend if they knew why there was a random bag of peppers in the middle of the table. They didn't. Here's where I got real stupid. I assessed the table. Lots of things on it. Seasoning packets, condiments, bottle of rum, all shared items. Seemed logical to me that the peppers were also meant to be shared. I don't eat peppers regularly. In fact, I can't remember the last time I ate a raw pepper or purchased one. But in that moment, I wanted a pepper, damn it. I asked my friend if I should eat one. They cautioned me that they looked spicy. PSSSH, spicy? Those cute little orange peppers? They looked friendly to me. So I stuck one in my mouth, chewed and swallowed. I felt fine for about 5 seconds. And then my mouth was absolutely on fire. I have no spice tolerance and no business eating peppers. The physical pain was horrible. Tears were involuntarily streaming down my face. And it was time to go to my next meeting. I was late, so the only seat left was in the front row. I'm sure my expression of agony was really reassuring for the speaker. Pain ended after about 30 minutes, and I thought my troubles were behind me as I walked back to my office, ready to bang out some writing. Nope. I began to feel my stomach physically shaking inside me. I dashed to the bathroom. And as I used the bathroom, the burning resumed. Except this time it was down there. I waddled back to my desk. The burning faded. But then I felt my stomach shake again. I dashed back to the bathroom. The cycle continued until it was time for me to go home for my therapy appointment. As I write this, it's still continuing. I may be the stupidest person in grad school. Too long did not read. Ate random pepper I found in break room. It turned out to be an incredibly spicy pepper, and it's getting its revenge in multiple ways. This is about as perfect a post for this sub as there could be. It happened today. You were the one that fucked up, and it certainly was a fuck-up. I'm guessing habanero as the pepper in question. It's no Reaper, but it's still a seriously hot little orange-friendly looking guy. Edit, little pumpkins. You know, something's too hot for you to eat when you have to go home and get therapy. Where do you work that rum on the table is normal and considered a shareable? I want to apply. You have no spice tolerance and decided to eat a full, raw pepper out of nowhere. Oh, mate. I have a niece like you. Incredibly brilliant chemical biologist. No common sense at all. Genius at work, idiot in the wild.